Hey everybody, we're back with part 7 of our Rim Wars The Old Republic Let's Play, and I'm picking up here because we just had a reunion event. If you're not familiar with those, the reunion mod basically lets me give pawns the reunion ally trait, and anybody with that trait can basically pop up in our game through random events. And in this case, we have Hadar Flame joining us. He is another Republic soldier. He'll be jumping in to assist us. Actually, let's keep his bio open there. So mining, combat, and a little bit of social and medicine. So we can definitely put him to work, but some construction would have been nice, I think. That's okay. He's kitted for combat. He's looking pretty beastly in that armor, so at least we'll have plenty of defense. Now, I believe Grace joined us before the end of last episode, and we actually have a couple of prisoners that are on the verge of joining back up shortly here as well. So Hailsham, I think, is completely, resistance completely dealt with. I don't want her to join until she's closer to joining our ideology, though, because she's like 100% in favor of the Sith Empire, so she's going to have all sorts of problems with the way we operate, and I don't want to really deal with that. So we're going to work on converting her first. I don't know how effective this is going to be. Last time we tried this, no real progress was made, but because she will actively work, it's fine. We'll just see what happens, and if we have to do it all manually, that's fine too. We'll get there eventually. So yeah, anyway, she's on the verge of joining. If we actively recruit her, we basically have a 100% chance. I think Borba's not too far off either, nor is Fender. Like, both of these guys are pretty low on their resistance. Baradas is also, basically completely broken, as is Black. So yeah, the real hang up for all of these characters is, or all these pawns, is going to be the ideology thing. And it looks like food may well be a problem. We just harvested our rice plant not too long ago, and as you can see, we do have a decent amount of food in the freezer, but not as much as we would like. So it probably is worth going in here and cutting down a bit more of these trees. Again, sorry Jedi. And then in that space, we will put down another growing zone right there. I should probably terraform this so that we can utilize all of it. I'll do stony soil. Some people feel like the terraforming mod is a bit cheap because you can put whatever you want down just with a small bit of work. So to sort of balance that out, I tend to always just build like low quality terrain, because I could put down rich soil and everything would grow super well, but that seems a little bit unfair at times. Also, it's occurring to me now that I should have a tilled soil mod. Where the hell is that? Is it in their floors? I don't think it's floors. It should show up here, right? Tilled. Shoot. Miscellaneous? No. I don't know what it would be under. Maybe it's something we need to research. Or I'm just, I'm looking right past it. Okay, so we can do tilled soil. In fact, we probably should. So let's go ahead and throw that down on all the areas we can. And I'll put some stony soil there too. So that'll help us a little bit. I guess we should probably get Hadar set up in terms of priorities. So wardening is something that he's actually quite well suited for. I'm going to slow things down but not pause it completely. Yeah, so that's something he would be decent at. So let's make that his top priority at the moment. Mining can stay a 3. Quarrying will be a 4. Training can also be a 3. We don't need to worry about recon or any of this. Let's make these a 4. I still want him to do them, but I like mining to be a higher priority than that, but a lower priority than this, if that makes sense. Therapist, let's not worry about that too much. And guarding can be a 3, I think. Okay, so that's him taken care of. Let's check in with Wade. He is ready to do another conversion. Again, we can't use this on anybody who would join with, like, say, less than 30, or I guess we'll say more than 20 conversion percentage or whatever. So I think it makes the most sense to use it on Oyster right now because he's actually quite set in his current ideology despite being part of our faction. So Elijah, for example, is only at 21%. If we used it on him, he would join the Jedi ideology, which we don't want. Grace is in a similar boat. Droid is already part of our group. So Oyster is the only one here who has kind of a ways to go. And where is Oyster? He's okay, he's on his way back. So Wade, why don't you meet him halfway? And we'll break down that certainty a little bit. So that was about 28% from the quick glance that I grabbed there, which is about what we expected. Perfectly fine. We're just chipping away at that resistance. And as you can see, we made some progress on the Jedi sort of council room, I guess. So we are going to need to use columns, otherwise we're not going to be able to get a roof on this. I'm hoping that this, I didn't do any math whatsoever. I just eyeballed it, and I'm hoping that these columns are adequately spaced where we can get a roof all the way down to the middle here. It's entirely possible that it is not going to be enough, but we'll see. What I'd like to do is actually get a skylight covering most of this, and we'll just have a little bit of roof around the edge. Most of it will be glass, though, that the light will shine through. I think that would look pretty cool. Does that need to be terraformed, or can we build floors directly on it? It does need to be terraformed. So we'll do stony soil, and then we'll build a wood floor on top of that. Who made peace? The Civil Gungan Union and the Sith Empire have ceased hostilities. Okay. So the Gungans are going, well, I don't know if they're actively friendly with the Sith, but I feel like making peace with the Sith is effectively allying yourself with them. So another thing I've kind of neglected to do is I should probably plant this Anima nexus tree somewhere. I'm thinking, I don't know, it doesn't like to be there or there, so this is probably okay in this general area. Yeah, let's try right there. Again, the Anima nexus tree is just a modded version, or I guess a converted version of the Dryad trees. So this will give us access to Dryad stuff. Oh, cool. More resistance broken and research finished. So we have work attire done. What did that unlock for us more specifically? Are we interested in any of these armors? There's like Raider armor in there. Maybe later. Let's see. Where was all that clothing? Ooh, we should probably push for spacer furniture. It looks like we'll be able to do that after modern furniture. So that might have beds that we're more interested in, potentially. Military clothing, formal wear. So it's probably right here. Casual wear. Where was work attire? I think I prioritized this one for like jumpsuits and things like that, because there's quite a lot of clothing that we've been using for our characters to get kind of that Star Wars-y look that actually happened to be from that category. So it made sense in this instance to do it. Right now we're actually doing basic electronics. Then we'll go to modern furniture. It might be worth doing artisan furniture and spacer furniture just so we have more options. But the electronics are something that we're going to need to put some effort into as well. I don't know if these are necessarily the same electronics that are going to advance our crafting capabilities. I believe that's microelectronics. which is probably an entirely separate category. But we can worry about that a bit later. Right now, I'm just trying to get some basic amenities researched so that we can live a little bit more comfortably. And then we can worry about crafting lightsabers and blasters and fancy armor and things like that. We seem to be doing all right with just the stuff that's been dropped for the most part. And actually, blasters haven't been that hard to come by. So I don't know what's going on, but there's like a little prisoner hangout in the restroom here. And the droid's not too pleased that she just had to use the restroom with an audience. I don't know why they're hanging out in here. So they can get in. The door is unlocked. So they should be able to get out. Sure. I don't know. We could hold it open, but then it's going to be a similar problem, I would wager. Can we just hold it open, maybe? Will you guys leave if we do that? You just like it in there. Okay, so you're getting your revenge by harassing everybody that needs to go to the bathroom. Well, if that's going to be the case, we might need to force them back in here. Hater, can you do that? Yeah, take him to bed. And who else is around? Might just have you do both. Yeah, just remove them from the restroom, please. I'd like for that to basically just become a prisoner restroom. We obviously have these, they just need to be plumbed. Plumbed, is that a verb? Like plumbing? Let's get that cut. I don't know why they're not just building the floor I told them to build. Maybe there's something under there that they can't build on. So on the note of getting these things up and running, I'd like to start placing stuff. It looks like in here is a decent spot. We can get about 4,000 liters if we go all the way back against the mountain there. And actually, if we put one in here, we can do similarly well. It looks like back here is probably the best spot. So if I put that down, and then we'll build probably an electric pump next to it. We can do something like that. Of course, we will need to power this, which is a bit inconvenient, but it can be done. And from there, we'll need some sort of basin for storage. So this water tower is perfectly adequate. I think steel is our most plentiful resource right now, so we'll make a steel one. What's the capacity on this? It doesn't say. Great. Well, I guess that's fine. We'll just build it right here for now, I think. And then we'll run some steel plumbing along this line here. We can do a little offshoot there. And then we'll run it... I mean... does it make more sense to just run it directly across? Well, I might regret this, but we can always resituate it later. We'll run it across here and wrap it around. Okay, so that'll get those bathrooms in working condition whenever that's finished, of course. There's still the issue of running power over there, though, so the easiest way to do that is probably just going to be to grab a conduit and run it straight up. It's going to be ugly, but what are you going to do? So we'll just do that. And again, we can always hide all this later or find some way to kind of work it into the building that's maybe a little bit less direct a route. It's not hard. It's just a matter of kind of getting everything laid down so that we can work around it. Right now, with everything still very much in a state of flux, it's hard to kind of figure any of that out. I'm going to expand this zone like so, just so we get some planting down there. And it looks like they already tilled that soil potentially, or maybe it's just not showing up very well. So that was in fact in floors, and it was in this general vicinity. There it is. So if I do that, yeah, okay, we'll get those, and hopefully that helps with our, I mean, we haven't had any food issues yet, but it looked like we might be approaching some food issues. So that's why I went ahead and expanded this, and then of course the tilled soil just makes everything more efficient. So that was worth doing too. But I don't know, maybe we kind of double dipped there and we did more work than we needed to. So I think we need to terraform that if we want to build wooden floors there. And on that note, this terraforming was done so we can finish that floor. Oh, we got an event coming. The game just lagged on me. Peace talks. What does it want me to do? So the leader of Vaynor wants to talk with us. Could be an ambush. Other factions will respect you more if you send your leader to handle negotiations. We could potentially do that. It would be nice to, I mean, they've been kind of our feeder for colonists, honestly, but you know, our real enemy here is the Empire, so it might be nice to remove that distraction. Actually, what's this outlaw layer? Are we supposed to do this? Yeah, I completely forgot about this. We have 4 days. Can we get there in 4 days? Actually, let's take a look. Working site, farming work site, bandit camp. 2 enemies, huh? Sealed vault. Oh, we also need to investigate that, and that's where the peace talks are. So I didn't realize, I mean, this completely slipped my mind. So I think we should knock that out first. We'll form a caravan to here. I mean, we have plenty of time to do it. It was just a bit troubling that I almost completely neglected it. And honestly, I feel like Wade could probably handle it solo. But I'm not all that inclined to just send one person in case anything does go wrong. So let's send him, and this, I guess this can be Hadar's first mission out and about. So we'll send those 2. Let's turn this off because it's super annoying. And you're going to bring rice. Is there anything else that we could send you with that might be a little bit more efficient? Because that's like all of our rice. This is a bit ill-advised, probably. I don't know how many days. Let's see, 0.45 per day. I wish this was a better indication of how much food it actually provides, because like 9 berries tells me nothing. I want to know how much days worth of food I'm getting from foraging. That's the real information I need from that. Glitter World medicine is not something that we're going to bring with us. I will bring a little bit more herbal though, and I suppose that's fine. Yeah, that looks good to me. So let's send them on their way. I'm a little bit wary about the food situation now that they're going to be taking so much of it, but I think it'll be fine. We need to butcher these creatures. That's part of the problem. I don't know whose job that was originally. Let's see. It was not Jaina's, but Jaina can do it. So let's put it up to 3, and maybe she'll get on that. I did make sure to unsuspend the butcher creature bill, so somebody should get on it. Well, I guess she's the only one who would even attempt it right now. And of course it's harvesting season, so you know what? Those are both equally important tasks, so we'll just let her go about it. Because if we get rice in the freezer, then we don't necessarily need to worry about that meat getting butchered right away. It's all food in the end, right? So if they want to take care of this first, that's fine by me. Also, we have this water filter. It might be worth installing that in here somewhere. I don't know where it would be best suited. Maybe there. Okay, that team is away. And then we might send the same team plus Theo to the other event. Wait, why is this water filter marked unisex? Nobody better be going in the water filter, if you know what I mean. That would be very concerning. It looks like the power conduit's been run over there, so what's the issue? Is there just not enough power? No, the batteries are full. So what's the problem? Is it the plumbing? Is there no plumbing? Oh, well, there's no water because we haven't built the pump yet. How far did the conduit run? Let's build a conduit there, but I would think running it right up against this was far enough, but apparently not. Steel mining work site. I don't care about these work sites. You guys, let me know what the deal is with these. I know they're primarily meant for like raiding ideologies, but if we're not raiding, is there still any benefit to going and visiting them? Like, can we trade with them or anything, or am I literally just wasting my time going there? I'd like to know before I find out the hard way. Okay, so water's going in. Cool. Yeah, plumbing works. Fantastic. So we have bathrooms now. This can be the prisoner bathroom. The colonists get it nice. Well, I was gonna say clean, but then somebody dirtied the hell out of the floors. The bastards. We might want to put down. I thought we had like a. Is that miscellaneous? Maybe. It's some sort of like rug to keep the floors cleaner. Anyway. But I don't recall where they were. Too many mods adding too many things. I can't keep track of any of it. Cool. So our. Oh, it doesn't like being there, I guess. The nexus tree has been planted, though. It'll spawn the first immature dryad in just under a week. And, of course, the focus is affected by the walls here, but it is what it is. We can connect somebody to it. I think Basina's probably the one for that job. Also, on the note of Anima trees, the main tree is up to 89% grown. So we'll be able to start growing anima grass around it soon, I think. Again, I didn't play 1.2 when it came out. I didn't play any RimWorld for about 2 years. So I know like roughly how these mechanics work, but I haven't actually ever like attempted them myself yet. So there might be a little bit of rough spots here and there, but I think we're doing this sort of correctly. Why are you like losing leaves? Are you dying because we put you too close to something? Connector, no, it's gonna be Basina. And let's wait. It's like 4 a.m. so let's maybe not wake everybody up for this. But when everybody is awake, since they're mostly on the same sleep cycle, we'll go and have that event. And that way, I think we can choose the kind of dryad we get. And I don't know what the best option is going to be right now. Maybe a hauler or a cleaner. Actually, is there a cleaner? I don't know if there is. There's definitely a hauler. There's some that produce medicine or wood. Wood is an interesting prospect down the line because obviously the Jedi don't like us cutting trees. And once we get to a point where we don't need to sort of deforest in order to build, it might be nice to just have a steady supply of wood that way. Of course, there's crops we can grow that have a similar effect. So that one's maybe not as useful as other options, but it's something to consider at the very least. So let's start this ritual now that most of the people are awake. Again, Basina is going to be the one to do it. So let's begin. Get some fancy effects happening around. And I'm genuinely curious what immediate impact this will have. Oh, wow. That was a pretty immediate impact. So we'll produce small animals called dryads by growing them in pods at its base. These dryads can specialize into different castes. You can choose which caste of dryad you want the tree to produce. The stronger the connection between the tree and the human, the more dryads the Anima nexus tree can sustain. Basina can strengthen the connection by pruning the Anima nexus tree. Maintaining a higher connection strength requires more frequent pruning. So that's sort of down the line what her main role is going to be. Is she's effectively just going to be the keeper. That's her title, right? So she's just going to be pruning all of the Anima nexus trees that we have placed, and she'll just kind of hang out in the Jedi temple and do that. We'll have other people for farming our food. Right now, it's just kind of an all hands on deck type situation, so we've got to do what we've got to do, but eventually we'll phase her out of that kind of farmer role. So we have the carrier, which is the hauler. Barkskin is like a tanky combatant. Clawer is like a DPS combatant. Woodmaker is going to be the one that produces wood, as I mentioned before. Medicine Maker will give us heal root. Berry Maker gives us berries, so it's just a food source. And then Seed Maker will drop additional Anima seeds, Anima Nexus seeds, so that we can plant additional Anima Nexus trees. And again, these have all been reskinned through the... I don't remember. I think it's a vanilla expanded mod, honestly. But it just turns all of the Dryad stuff, which I forget what the name is. It starts with a G. It turns it into Anima Nexus stuff so that it all kind of blends with the Anima tree from Royalty. Right now, I think the carrier might make the most sense. Just a grunt to kind of move stuff around. That's fine. We'll do it now before it drops a pod. And let's see. It's good to know that the grassy stuff won't actually grow onto my paving stones here, because I wanted a nice looking sidewalk, which would have been difficult if that were the case. So we're gonna push this out that way. And it looks like there is some more plant cutting that will need to be done. Isn't there always? Isn't there always? So we'll hack all these down. Unfortunately, not all of them are matured, so I can't just issue a cut tree order there. But that'll get us started. We need to do a bit of terraforming from the looks of it. So I think here, and there. Did I miss anything? I don't believe so. Okay. So that'll get us going on that side. Eventually, we'll want to plant more of these. So we'll just kind of... I don't want it to look too uniform. I want it to look kind of natural, because it is supposed to be, you know, natural. So I'm not just going to put them in a perfect square around this. We'll kind of scatter them a bit. Cool, so we got our first pod. Where the hell is it? Where are you pointing? Why is it over there? Pod that produces a single Anima seed. Oh, so this isn't the little Dryad dude. This is just another seed that we can use. Great. So yeah, we'll make sure somebody does that and hauls it back. I don't think that we'll use it immediately, though. The amount of pruning she's going to have to do could be... Oh god, the Wookiee went berserk. Who has... You have a mind trick. I think we're going to need that. Otherwise, Elijah, where are you? So Theo is... God, it's so hard to see people on this for some reason. I don't know why, but I struggle with like recognition on this purple backdrop way more than I ever did with the green one. So let's slow things down a bit just in case it really goes bad. Okay, cool. So the mind trick worked. She's now in a confused wander, not a berserk state. So we can just leave her be. I was certain I was going to have to draft all of our shooters for a second there. But Basna, again, saves the day. Coming in clutch, as usual. How are you guys doing, by the way? Almost there. Cool. Alright, so Wade and Hadar have arrived at the Bandit camp. It looks like we are dealing with, yes, in fact, 2 enemies. We have Benjamin, this defector, armed with a blaster pistol, and actually relatively competent with it. Decent character overall, but the fact that he's a slob is, you know, a bit off-putting. And then we have an abrasive coward in Maya here, who is a skilled miner and shooter, but not good for much else. And it looks like she has an E11 blaster, so we'll want to take both of those back with us because we do have some people that could utilize them. Other than that, I don't recall if there was anything, you know, really special here that we were looking for. So let's see, where the hell did we spawn? We're over here. Is there any cover that we can make use of? There is an ancient ruined tank. However, your range is pretty limited. So we'll have to move up closer than that. I'm guessing either here, though that looks like it's probably not quite close enough. If not, we can push up to maybe these chunks here. Okay. So they are ducking into cover from the looks of it. And yeah, your range is a little bit pathetic there. So let's move up to here. That'll get us at least closer to striking distance. Now, their range... Oh, there's a turret. In that case, Wade, why don't you see what you can do to get closer? I'll let Hadar deal with that. Okay, it's already going to explode. Cool. That was pretty efficient of you. Why don't you move up to there then? Wade, you're going to duck into cover. And Hadar can... you know, throw down some suppressive fire there. And then as soon as they turn the corner, you're going to get them in melee. Perfect. Let's maybe not continue shooting. Go ahead and jump into melee combat with Maya there. Don't let her get out of that situation. Okay, now you can join in here. Don't shoot. Cool. Payment has arrived. Is it just going to land on these floors? Okay, so we have this... Oh, it's a Masterwork shield belt. Now, this one is not going to allow us to fire out. Yeah, prevents wearer from firing out. Shuts down instantly if hit by an EMP. That's fine for a character like Wade, who's only doing melee combat. I don't know how force power is affected, though. That'll be interesting to see. So we'll allow this. We'll allow these. We have some food for the way home. Are either of them worthy of bringing back? Honestly, I think with the amount of prisoners we have, it's not really advisable, and I think every prisoner we have is better than these guys. So the question then becomes, is there anything that we want to loot off of them? This flak jacket's actually decent. We also have a gas mask. That's not very Star Wars looking, though. How about you? What do you have? You have a Nerf wool scarf. Okay. And a lab coat. You know, clothing, not really too interested in, if I'm being honest. We can craft our own clothing if we needed to. So I'll probably just leave them be. I'm not going to finish them off. That's not really our style. But if they do decide to get up, we'll need to obviously put them back down. let's claim both of these, and I'll ask Wade to investigate this one and Hadar to investigate that one. There's also quite a bit of stuff here that we'll want to uninstall, or maybe not uninstall, but potentially deconstruct. We'll probably just get steel from these. The beds are made of stone, so that's not really worth the effort either. But we have some dye, we have Imperial credits. The battery we might be able to get components for. Alternatively, we could just try to carry it back. Oh no, we can't. Or maybe we can. Yeah, we could try to carry it back. I don't know how much a battery weighs though. Mass 20 kilos. That might be a bit heavy, so let's just tear it down. And we'll tear this down as well. And that's about it. These are kind of cool floors. Limestone. Yeah, okay. I want to allow these blasters too, because we do want to bring those back. And, oh, some silver. Cool. Right, Wade, can you start working on one of those? Sure, eat first if you feel like it. But I would like you guys to jump on that construction stuff relatively soon, or like immediately. Immediately would be good. Cool. Right, so back over here. They're working on those still. Sure is taking them a while. We're starting to close this off. I really do hope that these pillars are... Oh, cool. That's handy. It actually shows you the support area. So, based on this, it looks like we do have enough overlap. Awesome. I was hoping we didn't need to... I wanted it to be a nice big open space, and if we have too many pillars, it really closes the area off, I feel like. So this is just enough to get us by, which is great. Oh, there is a space battle happening. We will need to be extra careful. I'm actually not going to close that just so I remember. Space battles are cool because you get a lot of free like chunks to turn into steel or components or whatever. And even potentially some pawns to recruit, but they can also be deadly because you might have one of them land on your head. So, friends in danger. What is this about? It's the tribe of Nega again. They want... Oh, they recently rescued 2 Twi'lek from a mechanoid hive. There are no mechanoids in this. They want me to guard them for 18 days until he can send a shuttle to collect them. 2 mech clusters will deploy nearby. How does this work? So there's no mechanoid faction in this Let's Play. I don't really like any of the rewards either. I mean, we could take the goodwill. But I don't want to potentially break my game by trying to spawn something in that shouldn't exist. So I'm just going to decline this one. It's potentially interesting, but again, I worry about the... Oh, does somebody have Paralytic Abasia too? Yeah, no. This seems like a dumpster fire waiting to happen. Oh, wow, that was kind of close. Oh, right, there's probably a lot of corpses around. We should get those hauled. Well, they're already skeletons. They decompose quite fast, don't they? Unfortunately, the weapons don't deteriorate as fast. Right, so it's time to pack this caravan back up. And you know what? Since we're right here, there's 5 people with some steel. They have some food. I'm just worried if I pop in here, it's gonna like force me to attack them. It will expire in time. Until then, you can raid it if you wish. Yeah, you know what? I'm just gonna avoid it. I'm not gonna risk it. So we're not bringing either of them. I do want the simple meal, the survival meals, the rice, the components. Of course, the herbal medicine and the glitter world medicine will take credits. I don't know if dye is worth bringing. I think dye is for the styling bench or whatever the hell it's called, and I don't plan on letting the pawns have free reign of their own appearances. So I'm actually going to leave that behind. The steel is kind of useless. We can get our own steel. I will take gold and silver though. Macro engine, that's just junk. Anything unique? No, not really. So I think we've got all the valuables worth getting. Yeah, that looks fine to me. So off they go. Right, so now that we have this hallway a little bit more fleshed out, I'm trying to figure out exactly how I want this to look. I'm debating leaving some of this space here as like a little maybe maintenance hallway, and we can stuff some batteries in there. But I don't know how much of that I want to leave and how much I want to turn into this kind of mess hall area. It doesn't need to be that big, right? I feel like this is probably adequate. That kind of rectangle right there is more than enough for a large table and some chairs, or so I would think. But yeah, it's hard to say. I also don't know what table I'm going to use, and that makes things a little bit trickier as well, because I need to allocate space for something I don't know how big it is. But yeah, on the same note, this little maintenance hallway, do I build it like here and we'll just stick a battery at the end, or I can make it too wide so that they can actually, you know, maybe run batteries all along the wall. I don't know what the best method is for that either. Honestly, I'm very wary about putting down multiple batteries in the same vicinity, so I'd probably just do one like tucked in here. So to that end, we'll basically just build like a rectangular room right here, and we can run it. Let's do something like that. So what is this, 6? No, it's only 5. So that would be 6. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so that's symmetrical right there, I think. I don't know if that's enough space, though. I guess let's start with that. We have room to move this wall if we need to, but we'll get something like that going. And it looks like I need to do a bit of terraforming before I can actually realize this properly. But that'll get us at least kind of kicked off in the right direction. And then for the transitions between rooms, I've been using, where is it? These steel gratings. I've used this in several playthroughs. I just like the way it kind of transitions the floors between rooms. And actually I'm going to do it here too. Even though these are wood flooring in here, I do eventually intend to change that. And so this is just kind of preemptive. And even still, I think it looks kind of cool behind the doors. It just makes everything a little bit more distinct, I guess is the word I'm looking for. So one of the chunks that just fell from space actually had a body in it. There's not much we can do about it. Obviously, he's well dead. So, you know, if we had like some resurrector mech serum or something, we could actually bring him back because he's not deteriorated at all, but we don't. So I'm just going to allow the corpse to be hauled, and he'll probably end up in our little corpse disposal area there at some point. They're not being very, what's the word? Very proactive about their hauling, so it may take quite a while, but I'm, again, not concerned about it. Oh joy, they just started a giant fire. And oh, that pod had a live person in it. Now, are you actually a Twi'lek? You are. And you're honestly not that badly hurt. You're from the Collective of Shintao, which is a faction we haven't had much interaction with. Let's see, she's incapable of violence, which is a real bummer because she's actually quite good at it. And let's see, animals, social, not really worthy of recruiting, but I think this is somebody that we probably want to rescue. Let's see. I'm going to grab one of these. We'll put it down right there. We'll mark it as medical. And then Basina, if you'd be so kind as to go grab our friend there. We'll rescue her. We'll basically patch up her 2 bruises, and then we'll send her on her way for the free little relationship bonus. In fact, we may not even need to tend. I might just hit her with the heal other and see how far that gets us. I'm going to keep an eye on this fire. I'll consider drawing a home zone over it to get it put out if it gets a little bit too out of hand. Oh, hello, Devin. Let's see. You're from the Sith Empire. You are a beast in combat. Nice synergy with the traits, too. So he is bleeding profusely. I don't know if we'll be able to treat him in time, because it's going to take, like, we would have to stabilize him in the field. Also, what kind of gear do you have on? Heavy flak armor. Interesting. I mean, we're not going to rescue him out of the kindness of our own hearts, because again, he's Sith Empire, but he's a very good character, right? Like, high medical, social, shooting, and melee. He's got kind of an interesting synergy happening here with the chemical interest in Drunken Master, so he can use a bunch of beer to get drunk and then just become a beast in melee combat. Yeah, this is a guy that I think we have to try to save. The question is, who's going to save him? So Grace, you had some medical skill, right? Can I get you to just stabilize him? You can stop the bleeding out in the field. Then it might take you 2 hours to get to him. But yeah, we need to stop the bleeding here because he won't make it back to base. We'll take that charge pistol too, just because it's probably pretty valuable. Oh, you're dead out here. We'll get you hauled back. Basina, where are you at with our friend? Now, she's perfectly fine. She's not going to die. She's at no risk of death. Not even bleeding. Oh, that scared the hell out of me for a second. I thought Grace just dropped dead. I was like, oh dear God, what just happened? I forgot that we had some fights out here, and I'm surprised that you haven't deteriorated yet. I'm willing to bet it has something to do with the fact that you're a Wookiee and a modded race. Oh no, she hasn't spoiled yet. That's weird. I thought it had been more than enough time for that to happen. Come on, Grace, I need you to hustle. This guy's, yeah, he's not going to make it. She's going to have to tend very fast, which I don't think she's going to be able to do without medicine. We'll see. Each successful tend that she gets will delay it slightly, but I don't think she has enough time. Yeah, that's unfortunate. So, the smart move there probably would have been, excuse me, going for the armor strip rather than the heal, but I did want to see if we could maybe save him. Yeah, go ahead and just strip everything off of him, if you don't mind, Grace. Wait a moment. That's not your shield belt. You're not even a fighter. I need to take that from her. But please do me a favor and strip the body. And you know what? I'm going to leave this to deteriorate, I think. In fact, a lot of these I will. But the gas mask, do me a favor and just equip it so that you don't have to carry it. And then please haul this. What are you doing with the body? I guess do as you will. Oh, do we have 2 more people that just plummeted from space? It's a pretty crazy space battle that's happening. Oso looks like he might be from... Oh no, he's actually from the Trandoshan faction. He's not from the Sith Empire. What's your current health status? Death in 6 hours. I don't know if we're going to be able to save him. I would like that scout blaster though. And then we had Leslie up here. That's an interesting little knife you got there. So what's Leslie's deal? Another near death. Yeah, I don't think we're going to be able to help these people. So let's just leave them be. The other guy was interesting because he was just an absolute tank of a character. But obviously we didn't make it there in time. Those people are just as far out and they're not nearly as valuable. So what are you going to do? So Basina, did you know what, come back here please and just throw a heal on Cham, and that might be enough. No, come on. Get back over here. I don't want to waste any medicine, so if you could just throw a heal other on her. Okay. There you go. Yeah, go play some horseshoes. So she has a permanent crack in her spine, but she's up and about, and she should be able to leave whenever she likes. And we'll get that nice little bonus. Alright, now that Grace has returned the armor to... Well, not returned it, but delivered the armor to the stockpile, I'm going to ask her to drop the shield belt and the mask that she's wearing, and then she can go back to her business. I'm honestly thinking Elijah might be a good candidate for this Rebel gas mask. He's one of our fighters after all, so I think having a little bit more protection, especially on the face, is a good idea for him. How do you look? Yeah, that looks pretty cool on him. Goes well with his kind of vaguely Boba Fett look in terms of armor. So, cool. And again, the shield belt's going to be reserved for probably Wade. I think it makes the most sense on him. Pending whether or not it works with Force abilities. Rachel, are you new? Chemical interest, germaphobe. Your traits kind of suck, and you're not that great at anything in particular. So let's leave you be. I thought I saw another drop pod, but maybe that was hers. It's a bit hard to track where they actually fall. And it looks like the fire is having the desired effect. There was a lot of loot that I wanted to be rid of, and it is actively burning most of it away. So that's great. I saw another body. Chambers. Oh, a Trandoshan. Cool. But he can't fight. What's the point of a Trandoshan that can't fight? He's a hell of a cook, though. Hygienic synergizes pretty well with cooking, too. But he's greedy and pretty. Greedy is probably a deal breaker, honestly. I can't accommodate somebody that has to have a perfect bedroom all the time. So sorry, Sam. Oh, you're frail anyways. Yeah. Interesting little pawn there, but not somebody I'm going to try to save. When did you die? Where did you come from? Dead for less than a day. I don't remember fighting Elizabeth Finch. That's an interesting name for a Trandoshan. But yeah, I don't recall fighting her. So I'm wondering if she was another casualty of this space battle, and I just missed it. Leslie and Oso we saw. Sergal is new. Oh, Sergey. Careful shooter and nervous. Interesting. Okay. Might want to rescue her. We can consider trying to recruit her. But for the time being, I think it's worth at least saving her, because she's not really that close to dying. it's maybe a faction that we want to befriend as well. And she might be interesting as a recruit too, so there's several possibilities we can go with her. I just saw another cargo pod go down, but I don't see where. If I pan out, it should show me all the pawns on the map with these little icons here. Alright, so Vasana has brought Sergey back. Oh, you are male. I don't know that I've ever seen a male Togruta. That's what you are, right? Yeah. Okay. So let's try the heal other. Maybe that'll be enough. Yeah, cool. So no more bleeding. So the question is, do we want to recruit a male Togruta who's good at shooting but kind of slow? Nervous worries me a bit as well. So what faction are you from? That's your culture, which belongs to a specific faction, I know, but actually no, it doesn't. So you're just a colonist in the wild then. Honestly, he might join of his own volition, but I'm not going to actively try to recruit him. And honestly, I kind of don't want him. I don't know. So our basic electronics research just finished. Let's make sure we have something queued up. Okay, we do. Modern furniture. Great. Where are we on the tree here? So I think, honestly, artisan furniture, 800 is nothing. It should be done very, very quickly. Is there anything else we want to knock out really fast? Those are sort of the big ones. Electric stone cutting is tempting too, but honestly, I think we have prisoners doing most of that work, so the efficiency is not of a huge concern to me, if I'm being honest. Well, it would be a good idea to have trash cans around, but we can worry about that later. I think glassworks we need for the skylights, so we might want to do that eventually. I mean, honestly, 500, it'll take no time at all. What does therapy do? Oh, therapy couch. Okay. That's something to consider too, just to have our people a little bit more mentally healthy. So what I'd probably do is whoever our leader is for the, probably more so for the Republic faction or the Republic ideology, wherever their kind of living quarters or workspace is, we'll make them sort of like an office that they can quote unquote govern from, but we'll put this therapy couch there so people can go talk to them, and they'll kind of fill two roles in one. Let's see, anything else that's really jumping out at me? Honestly, I think those are enough for now, and then we'll look at electronics. Oh, simple prosthetics is something we should probably get into sooner rather than later, because I mean, obviously people could potentially lose limbs, right? So something we might want to be able to replace. Beyond that, I don't quite know. Yeah, let's just roll with that for now. So we can do a conversion ritual right now. We probably should. We can't do this one. Why is that? Huh. So I thought that Theo could conduct that one because he's a leader, but it says we need the exalted priesthood meme. Maybe Wade has to be present for that. I honestly don't know, but we can do the other one. So the question then is, do we do Elijah first, who is, let's see, at 25, or do we do Grace, who's at 18? So Grace has a higher chance of it being successful. There's a chance that it won't be enough to convert Elijah. Therefore, I think let's play it safe and do Grace, and if we need to, we can chip away at Elijah's one more time before we actually do it. So yeah, let's begin this conversion ritual. The speaker, yeah, that's fine, can be HUD, and the convertee is going to be Grace, and you guys don't get to participate because you're prisoners. All right, go. Make it happen. Okay, so HUD literally just dragged Grace over here. I don't think that was quite necessary, but I guess whatever works, right? And she's just gonna lay here on the ground while we convince her to join the Republic, I suppose. That's one way to do it, after all. Almost there. I pray that this is enough. Effective conversion ritual. Cool. So, not only delivered solid arguments, visibly swayed the convertee's thoughts, but kept the crowd entertained as well. Wow. What a speaker. So everyone gains +3 mood for 6 days. Quality was 52%. I mean, that's all basically irrelevant so long as... Are you serious? So she didn't actually convert. What's that about? What was the point if she didn't actually convert? Oh, God. Okay, well... Was it Erna? You have, Oh, you're not the right role anymore. Do we have a counselor right now? Or maybe HUD's the counselor. Yeah, he is. So he can reassure, he can counsel, and he can preach health. But he can't actually convert in the same way that Wade can. Otherwise, that's what I would do right now. It's really unfortunate because it takes so long. Well, we'll see. Maybe when Wade gets back, we can do the other one with the Republic culture. And that will be the nail in the coffin. Uh-oh. Sergey got an infection. From what? Your cut scar got infected? How does that work? That was a very poor tend quality. But honestly, as long as you survive long enough to make it off the map tile, that's all I care about. Why haven't either of you gone home, by the way? Do we need to unlock this, maybe? Is that the issue? Yeah, there you go. Cool. That's all it took. So, it looks like the fire is going to have to be dealt with, unfortunately. Oh, look, another dead Trandoshan. Where are you guys coming from? Well, yeah, so anyways, the fire is becoming a problem. It's getting very close to our Anima tree. So I will need to home zone this. Just to make sure that it doesn't get any further. At least in this direction. We can kind of guide it away. I mean, it is a bit unfortunate that all this basically free lumber is being destroyed, but at the same time, I'm not that concerned because it's kind of clearing forest for us to be able to grow in. But yeah, we need to direct it away from us, so let's at least have them work on that area. And it looks like Cham here is going to be off the edge of the map any moment. And then we can check with the factions to see how we're doing. I didn't see a +10 from that. What's that about? I mean, I could be mistaken, but I thought she was from one of these factions. But perhaps I just assumed that based on the culture she was from, and she wasn't actually part of a faction. That's okay. I didn't have any desire to recruit her, so the fact that she was hanging around just meant she was another mouth to feed with no real benefit to us. It's just kind of weird that I thought she was part of a faction, but I guess not. Okay, cool. So we got people on fire duty. That's what I like to see. Now, of course, it's not going to be everybody because we have at least 1 or 2 people that have no ability to fight fires or no willingness to. But that's okay. We have enough people that are that it shouldn't be much of an issue. It will take them quite a while to beat back this fire, though. They're doing pretty good up here. It's kind of a losing battle over here for Droid. But again, I am only really worried about the part that might spread north. I'm happy to let it kind of burn itself out in the other directions. Something interesting, though, is... Oh, Droid. I guess you wore yourself out doing that. Something interesting about this map tile, though, is because there's the constant spore fall, I don't know if we'll get rain at any point. Therefore, the fire might remain an issue. Like, I don't know that we'll get any rain, even if it does get to a problematic extent, right? Typically, the rain would kind of come save us, but I don't know that we're going to see that here. Well, it's going to be kind of boring to sit here and watch them do that. So I think what I'll do is I'll end the episode here. And hopefully by the time we come back, we will have dealt with... I mean, we've already kind of dealt with most of it, but we'll make sure that the fire is no longer a threat. And hopefully by then, Wade and Hadar will be back. And we can start looking at some of the other missions that we have on our docket here. So thank you guys so much for watching. I had a great time playing some RimWorld with you. And I look forward to seeing you guys back here for the next episode.